as we see the confirmation of the fact that, as yet, Canada and Rwanda yet to secure a win, but someone's going to be going away with their first win of this competition and will be very happy indeed.
All to play for here. A lot of pride at stake. Both teams are looking for this first victory.
Rwanda closest to the picture, playing in yellow and blue. Canada in red, just going through the last part of the warm-up, which is the serving. The teams have a general warm-up away from centre court, then come onto court, hit through in position 2, which is on the right-hand side, as we were looking at the previous shot, then through position 4 on the left-hand side, then they serve, and then they will make their way to the benches. And we'll get ready for the starting 7s to come out.
Well, here are the previous results from the team in picture. Canada, well, they've had 3 losses. And these are the teams that defeated them.
They did very well, actually, taking a set from the Netherlands, their only set that they won. It's not quite the same picture, though, for Rwanda. But in all fairness to them, this is their first ever games, first African team to represent Africa in sitting volleyball at the Paralympics.
Well, what an achievement. I mean, to be here in itself is a huge achievement. And when they played earlier in the tournament against China, well, the crowd really got behind every single point that they won.
It's all part of the protocol before this one gets underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of
So we're going to have the national anthems for both teams.
O hino do Canadá.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of Rwanda.
Senhoras e senhores, o hino de Ruanda.
Glyn Archibald, the first referee on the left-hand side of the net, just signalling the end of the anthems, and the teams now get ready to come out onto court ahead of the start of this best-of-5 set match. Last chance for the coaches to have a word with their players.
That's right, Peter Karaman. He's revolutionised the sport in Rwanda. Well, originally from the Netherlands, having last words of advice for his team in yellow. And Nicole Ban, who's the coach of the Canadian team. Well, she'll be giving the final instructions before we get going.
So the first referee today, Glyn Archibald from Great Britain, very experienced and knowledgeable referee and sitting volleyball referee, very well respected. And he'll be ably assisted today by Croatia's Dominik Rasa. As always, the referees will have a final exchange of pleasantries. We wish them all the best, and I think it's fair to say we'll know if they've had a good game because we won't notice them. All our attention will be on the players. So the two teams about to come out onto court. We're going to start with Canada.
Number 4, ORR.
So coming out first is Shacarra Orr, the setter, number 4 for Canada. The captain, Jolan Wong, is setting. Danielle Ellis, number 9, is an outside hitter. Jennifer Oakes, number 10, another outside hitter. This is the starting lineup on the screen. It's Heidi Peters, number 11.
Number 15, VOSS-SHAFIQ.
And Felicia VOSS-SHAFIQ, number 15.
And
the libero,
number 5, Beauchesne.
is Chantal Beauchesne, number 5.
The coach, Nicole Ban.
So that's the team Nicole Ban has decided to go with. The team that she believes can get the result the team are desperately looking for. Time then for Rwanda.
And now the starting lineup for Team Rwanda.
E agora a escalação inicial para Ruanda. Número 2, Zaninka.
So coming out first is number 2, Zaninka NIKUZE through the outside.
Número 5.
And number 4 is Sandrine NYIRAMBARUSHIMANA. Number 5 is the setter, Alice MUSABYEMARIYA. Another setter, number 7 is Claudine BAZUBAGIRA. That's the lineup for Rwanda. Through the outside is Carine KWIZERA, number 8. And the captain, Liliane MUKOBWANKAWE, number 15. There's a middle blocker. The libero for Rwanda is Solange NYIRANEZA, number 11. So there'll be a real rush of adrenaline for these two teams now ahead of the start of this one. It's vital that they just settle themselves down, and when the whistle goes, that they are ready to play. The second referee is just checking that the rotations are correct on both sides. That has to be handed in by the coaches before the start of this one. The scorers table is ready. The match ball is being sent over to Rwanda, and they will get this one underway.
Rwanda has the serve. First set.
So Rwanda in yellow to serve, Canada in red. They'll be receiving. It's the 7th and 8th classification match for the women's sitting volleyball. Rio 2016 Paralympic Games.
Well, those nerves were in evidence. That served just too long for Rwanda. And so a cheap point, Canada have the first point, and now they have the serve.
Touch from the Rwandan player as it went out of court. Canada 2 up.
Well, great response from Rwanda. Wasn't the best of serve receives on the last point. However, they've come straight back and they put the ball down, and it's now side out 1-2 to Rwanda. Well, that was well left by Canada. That one was searching for the sideline. Any part of the ball catches any part of the white line, then it's deemed to be in. That's the captain for Canada with the serve.
Well, and likewise, she makes a similar mistake. Scoring is being determined by errors at the moment. A few nerves that we need to see settled.
Well, you can understand that things get a little bit nervy. The serving needs to be good enough to avoid Canada's block. It's one element of sitting volleyball that you are allowed to block the serve. So the ball has to go high, which is why at times you see the ball missing over the baseline. This time, though, Rwanda couldn't get control of that one. Tough serving from Canada. They lead by 3.
That's right, 3 touches permitted. The aim is to try and form an attacking play before the ball goes back over the net. Oh, they just lost control. Well, great attacking play from the Canadians, but nicely blocked by Rwanda.
Very good defensive play. Got in a really good position, took away the power line. Nice point for Rwanda. So net touch by Rwanda as that ball came over. That was a shame really, because they had Canada on the rack with that serve, having to go over on 2. And Rwanda have called the timeout.
Fotografias com flash não são permitidas durante a competição. Pedimos a gentileza de desligarem os flashes de seus celulares e câmeras para que os mesmos não atrapalhem a concentração dos atletas durante as partidas.
In the venue, it is disrespectful to the athletes. Thank you.
So 6-3, Canada serving. Nicely set.
Net touch given against Canada this time.
So a 2-point game. Service now comes over to Rwanda. Choosing to start quite deep, just to make sure the service is in, and yes, it was. Well, Canadians now giving away another point as that ball was hit out.
That was a great recovery by Canada to keep the ball alive, and it's paid dividends as well because Rwanda come up with the unforced error. Really nice save by Shacarra Orr. And then Rwanda come up with the error. Free ball for Canada. And they take full advantage as well, as that one goes off the defence and out of play.
And this is the first technical timeout of the first set.
Esse é o primeiro tempo técnico do set.
Technical timeout reached, with Canada leading by 3.
So Canada serving 8-5.
Double touch called against Rwanda for the setting. The ball has to be a clean set, not allowed to be juggled around in the hands. Ball with the serve. That was well left by Rwanda.
And it closes the gap now back to within 3 points. Both teams all to play for. Neither have secured a victory so far here at Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Well, there's an error from the Canadians, just unable to control the ball amongst themselves. Rwanda celebrating every point as they have done throughout this tournament so far.
Well, that could be close, but it hasn't quite caught the sideline. It was a really good lead from Rwanda in the end. That one was very close, but it's Canada who make the error. Now Rwanda back to within 1 point. Well, it's a tough serving that's doing the trick at the moment for Rwanda. Canada unable to deal with this serve that's going deep towards their baseline, and Rwanda have drawn level.
There's a double touch there from the Rwandans, and just as they were getting back into this first set, they've just given away that point. It's amazing how quickly the motion of the game can turn.
He certainly had Canada on the ropes for a while, but the double touch just lets Canada off. Oakes with the serve. Nice work off the block.
Super spike, Canada.
That was a net touch, trying to block the ball. Unfortunately, just getting the hand into the net was Carine for Rwanda. And Rwanda now use their second and last timeout.
Jennifer Oakes to serve for Canada, 13-9 up. Nearly found the gap. Great defensive play from Canada.
Good dig.
What a rally. I lost track of how many touches we saw then. Rwandans dug so deep.
Just found the right angle to put that ball away. The hard work paid off.
So Carine of Rwanda to serve, 10-13.
Nice spike, that one going past the block and straight down. I think what we're seeing in this game is that Canada are the stronger team. They've been playing their sitting volleyball a lot longer. However, Rwanda are playing their absolute best at the moment, and Canada know that they have to respect them fully and play their best volleyball, because if they don't, this one's going to be close, and Rwanda could well be in with a shout.
Well, and that was a great serve from Heidi Peters. Put the pressure on the Rwandan defence, just couldn't quite get themselves out of trouble. She'll be serving again now at 15-10. Well, there we are, 16-10, and we're going to have another, sorry, 15-11.
Well, that ball did look like it was in for a moment. Canada were celebrating as if it was in.
Well, I would have called it in, but I'm not a line judge.
So Rwanda's still in it. 2 technical timeouts per set, 1 at 8, 1 at 16.
Nicely kept in by the Canadians, but unfortunately goes out. Back to within 3-point game.
That's an interesting dilemma here now for Canada, because Rwanda are getting a run of points. Does the coach say, I'm going to leave it, because if we side out at some point, we're going to get a timeout anyway at 16? Or do I actually know, I don't want us to be going in 16-15 down to the technical. If we don't win this point, then I think perhaps a timeout may come. However, that is now mute, because it's an error from Rwanda, and we do go into the second technical timeout, Canada leading by 4.
Isso significa o segundo tempo técnico do set, 16-12 para o Canadá. Fotos com flash não são permitidas nesta competição. Por favor, em respeito às atletas, desligue o flash da sua câmera. Não se esqueça também de avisar ao torcedor ao seu lado para fazer o mesmo. Muito obrigado.
Ladies and gentlemen, a quick reminder, please respect the athletes. There is no flash in the venue. And remind your neighbors. Thank you.
Substitution then for Rwanda, making a change, and off goes Alice, the setter, and on came another set. So it's one for another. Yvonne IMANISHIMWE comes in. It's net touch by Rwanda. So a technical timeout not helping them very much at the moment, and Canada now with a healthy lead in this first set.
Jolan Wong, the captain of the Canadian team, to serve. And to serve again, she will, now at 18-12. Can Rwanda pull this back? Can they keep it close in the opening set? Well, point to Rwanda after a net touch from the Canadians.
Well, interesting, I thought for a minute perhaps it was a net touch, but the first official signalling that the ball has been played on the side of Rwanda. Yet I find that a little bit difficult to that looked like the ball was on Canada's side. There are specific rules. You have to play the ball on your own side of the net. The only time you can reach across the net is when one team is attacking and you, the opposing team, are trying to block the ball. Then you can get your hands over. You mustn't, though, attack the ball on the other side of the net at any other time.
Well, look at that for a block from Rwanda. Number 16, Yvonne. Oh, she really wants to bring this game back. Now 4 points in it. Captain from Rwanda to serve, Liliane, 14-18. Well, nicely blocked by the Canadians, forces an error.
Nice block by number 15.
And the ball came down so quickly, it was an instinctive reaction from Rwanda. Couldn't quite control that ball, which is why it went out over the sideline. Canada back in the lead position now, but 5 points advantage once again. Brilliant, lovely block out. Rwanda making the block their best friend with that play. Very much a big feature of sitting volleyball is block out. Using that block to your advantage.
Zaninka from Rwanda serving at 15-19. Canadians again not quite getting the control. Putting himself in the attacking position that's necessary. And you can sense the frustration now from the Canadians.
Well, it could have been a double touch. The angle completely running away from Jennifer Oakes as she tried to play that back. So there'll be the joust at the net is allowed, but you're only allowed for 3 seconds, and if it's held for any longer than that, then a let is called. And that ball was going nowhere.
Well, that was a lovely serve from Zaninka of Rwanda, bringing it back now to within 2 points.
And quite rightly, with that pressure being brought by Rwanda, Canada have called timeout. It's a tale of the set so far. 2 blocks to 1, 4 aces to 2, so Canada just slightly stronger in that department, hence their 2-point lead. Fans really enjoying the sitting volleyball here at the Paralympic Games. It's been a real party atmosphere right throughout this competition. That's a great serve, right down the line.
Yes, it is. Zaninka of Rwanda, well, she's had a few really good serves now, putting the pressure on the Canadians and bringing it back to a 1-point game. 18-19, she serves again.
Well, there was a study done on the effectiveness of timeouts in terms of changing scores. Coaches see a run of points go against them and think, right, call a timeout. But as we evidenced from that last one, Canada called a timeout, and off the back of that, they've lost 2 straight points, and Rwanda are now level.
Well, for a moment, we thought the Canadians were going to run away with the first set. Rwanda right back in it. Oh, that's long. That's the first mistake we've seen from Zaninka of Rwanda on the serve. And 20-19, Canada.
Well, this is now the business end of the set. This is where mistakes can count double. And it's Canada who wins that joust. And just like that, after they got back level, Rwanda concede 2 points in a row. Trying to get the block out, trying to make it work, but it didn't quite happen. Canada with the free ball. Good blocking by Rwanda. And again. Oh, and it pays off as well.
Well, that first block from Yvonne from Rwanda, that really turned the momentum.
So substitution for Rwanda. On comes big middle blocker Claudine, number 3. Going to try and close down Canada here with their attacking by having Claudine in at the net. It's a great view from the end of the court. You can see just how quickly the ball moves, how fast it goes from one side to the other. But it's Canada who take the point, and that blocking substitution not working out for Rwanda.
Nice serving by Shacarra.
Well, it was very close, but it's Rwanda who take the point. That was a fine line between success and failure. So this set still not over. Rwanda still very much in it. A little bit of confusion that time as the ball came over. KWIZERA, number 8, just snatched at the ball. Wasn't sure if she was meant to play it or not. It's another error from KWIZERA. Set point now for Canada.
In this first set, 24-21, Canada serving.
Well, there is the first set to Canada.
Touched by Rwanda. Canada gets the point, 25-21.
The spirits from the Rwandan team still high. Pushed them close, but just lost it in the end.
So confirmation of that first set score, 25-21 to Canada. They'll be feeling relieved more than anything. They had a huge lead at the start of that set. Rwanda got right back in it, and you could just see Canada begin to panic a little bit. The timeouts eventually kind of paid off, although they did lose 2 points off the back of their first timeout that they called. And as we look at the set statistics, the difference really was in Canada's ability to keep the ball off the floor when Rwanda were attacking, out-digging them 12-6. And a couple more blocks as well as the one extra ace. But certainly Canada know that they cannot afford to let their level slide at any point, because Rwanda will be right back in there. The second set will be getting underway shortly. Rwanda know that for them, they're more than capable of taking a set, which would be a huge, huge achievement for them in the context of where they've come from with their sitting volleyball, a program that only started a couple of years after London 2012, and they find themselves here in Rio 2016 competing. They haven't taken a set yet, and as far as they're concerned, their main achievement here is to the definition of success for them, as defined by their coaches, to have left here knowing that they played as well as they could.
Well, and they sure are playing pretty well. In the words of the captain, Liliane, we're here to show the world that we can. Well, they most definitely are doing that.
So the team's on court ready for the start of the second set. Second referee once again checking the rotations, making sure everyone is where they should be.
First up to serve for Canada, Heidi Peters.
Here we go with the start of set 2, Canada serving.
Well, found the gap, didn't she, on that opening serve in the second set.
That ball just dropped very quickly in front of Zaninka, caught her by surprise. And this time the serve going deep, just going at the shoulders of the Rwandan passing unit. Very good start for Canada.
When you mix your serves up like that, it's going to make it very difficult to anticipate what may be coming. Dig just not good enough.
That's another one that's dropped short. This is a brilliant serving run from Oakes. 3 touched aces in a row. Well, that one's come off the block and gone out as Rwanda tried to stop it from coming over altogether.
Timeout called by Rwanda.
So Rwanda call the timeout. They're in trouble already at the start of set 2.
Canada serving, 4-0 up. Jennifer Oakes still in control of that serve. Well, not any longer. Rwanda managed to pull the point back.
Well, that's good work by NIKUZE. She's been under pressure from the serving of Canada with her teammates, but gets a really good spike away through 4. Well, that's a wasted opportunity for Rwanda. It's a very nice serve by BAZUBAGIRA in the first place. That meant Canada had to put the ball back over, and it was pretty much a free ball for Rwanda, but they couldn't make the most of it.
I saw the attempt at trying to get a leg to the ball. In sitting volleyball, any part of the body can touch the ball.
And in serving as well, it doesn't matter if you have legs over the line, your pelvis has to be behind the serving line in the same way when blocking at the net. This is a brilliant start for Canada. They've got a lot of daylight between them and Rwanda at the moment. However, they do know that if they're not careful, Rwanda will get back. They had a 5-point lead in the first set, only to see it disappear very quickly. Well, that's really good play. This time, Danielle Ellis through the middle.
Seven, 1 up. Heidi Peters will continue her serving spree. And Rwanda end it at 2-7 now. They need to find something. They don't want to let this second set run away from them. The players really do dive around all over the shop, putting their body on the line. Nicely kept in play by Heidi Peters, but the rest of the team hadn't read what she was doing.
Alice gave a call and then didn't play it for Canada. So a couple of errors allowing Rwanda back into this one. Well, that could have been a double touch for Rwanda. The ball didn't appear to go where it should have done. However, they couldn't get the ball back, so it's Canada who have the lead of the first technical timeout, 8-3.
Este é o primeiro tempo técnico do set.
Jolan Wong serving 8-3 up for Canada. Well, straight back over from the Rwandans. They're playing one-touch volleyball here. And there's the smiles and the celebrations from the Rwandans. Well, great play. Continued pressure from Zaninka, number 2. She now serves 4-8. 4-8 turns into 5-8. Well, they're starting to make a bit of a comeback here in the second set.
Unforced error from Danielle Ellis as she put that ball looking for a cross-court angle that eluded her. And Canada let off the hook by that serve.
Those kind of errors that they really don't want to be giving away.
So important that you make the other team receive the ball when you're serving. It means that they have to expend energy, they have to keep that ball in play. It's something that Canada have done again and they've been doing throughout this second set, making Rwanda play the ball.
Danielle Ellis in control of the serve. And the score now goes to 11-5.
So Rwanda now looking to see if they can block this serve. It is a very tough serve coming from Ellis. She's found a great angle and gets a touched ace as well, as that one goes flying off of Yvonne, number 16.
Substituição da equipe de Rwanda. Sai número 16, entra Alice, número 5.
So another substitution by Rwanda as on comes number 5, Alice, having replaced Yvonne, one setter for another.
There's the mistake from Danielle Ellis. Serving just wide. The score's now at 6-13. Rwanda serve.
So an illegal attack given by Glyn Archibald. Number 15 for Rwanda is a backcourt player, Liliane, the captain. And she has to be behind that 3-meter line when she's attacking the ball. If her hand is above the height of the net, and she was actually over or on that 3-meter line. That's why it was called as an illegal attack. You have your 3 front court players who are able to attack the ball at net. Then you have 3 backcourt players who must attack the ball from behind the 3-meter line.
Nicely left from Canada.
Well, that one actually looked like it had gone wide, but the referee has actually signalled for this one having come off the block. So he's given the ball to Rwanda, even though Rwanda is setting up for serve receiving. Canada is setting up to serve. And whilst all that's being sorted out, Rwanda make a substitution. And on comes Karine KWIZERA, number 8, and off goes Agnes, number 1. Sandrine with the serve. The head coach, PETERS Heidi, just trying to get his team motivated for Rwanda. 2 quick points for them. They'll be looking for another one. And they've got it as well. Excellent blocking from Rwanda. That quick ball to the middle, not working. Rwanda making sure it didn't come back over. Lovely block from the captain, Liliane.
There's an error there from number 11, Heidi Peters, looking for the cross-court angle, didn't come off. Well, Sandrine putting a big serve in just at the right moment, taking the scores now to 11-15.
Well, it's funny, isn't it, watching Canada, they're great, and then all of a sudden they've been prone to giving up some big runs of points. And just putting pressure back on themselves as a result, but that will do nicely. Off the block and away, they have the point, and we head into the second technical timeout, Canada leading by 5.
15-9. Canada.
Segundo tempo técnico, 16-11, Canadá.
Play resumes now. Canada 16, Rwanda 11, number 4 serving.
Well, it's a decent rally. In the end, though, Rwanda coming up with the unforced error. They dealt with the serve of Canada very nicely. But it is Canada who will serve again.
Serving at 17-11, Chantal BEAUCHESNE. Canadians can catch the ball. That's allowed once they've already been awarded the point. A bit despondent now from Rwanda, falling behind by 7.
Rwanda calling their second timeout.
Tempo para Rwanda.
Shacarra to serve for Canada, 18-11. Nice dig. Oh, there we are. There's another point to Canada, taking it now to 19-11. They must sense this second set is within their grasp.
Lovely blocking by the captain.
Well, again, a nice serve from Shacarra, just taking it to an unforced error there. Getting out the back, a deflection from the Rwandan, 20-11.
Substitutions all round. Katelyn White coming in for Canada, number 14. And then having to redo that again has just caught the referee by surprise. So off goes number 15, VOSS-SHAFIQ.
20-11, second set.
Nicely left. Another substitution. Number 2, Zaninka comes on.
Zaninka coming in because she's now gone into the front row, so it's a substitution that doesn't count as part of the substitutions that the teams are allowed, as Solange, the libero, goes off court. But they could need that extra height of the net now, and Solange will probably come back in, as she has done, as the serving has come to an end for Rwanda. Solange, the defensive and passing specialist for the team. Oh, lovely, and that's exactly why NIKUZE is back on court in the front row, because she can do that. But they need to find plenty more of these, Rwanda, if they're going to get themselves back in. That one right through the seam, the gap in the block. Great reactions by Canada.
Well, there was an attempt there at the block from Canada. It didn't quite come off. And you can just see the smiles as the celebrations are beginning, and that's the kind of energy that's going to bring them back into this game. They need to put doubt in the Canadians' minds. Well, there we go again. Closing that gap, play by play, now 15-21. Beatha still continuing this run of serves. Oh, and there it comes to an end. So, momentum back to Canada at 22-15.
Well, serving is a vital component of volleyball. And if you can't put pressure on from the serving line, then you can't score a point, you can't win a set, and ultimately you can't win a match. Classic example, serve tough, put the other team under pressure. Ideally you want an ace, or a touched ace, or an overpass, or ultimately an attack that gives you an opportunity to make a block. Canada doing all those things at the moment with their serving, and they're just 2 away now from taking the second set.
Heidi Peters, complete focus. She serves at 23-15. So set point.
And a carry given against Rwanda, as that ball stayed in the hands for too long.
Set point Canada, number 11, Peter serving.
Well, what a way to finish the second set. With an ace, Canada now up 2-0.
Well, the perfect end to that second set for Canada with the ace serve. They now lead 2-0. They're 1 away from victory and from finishing 7th here at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Confirmation of the scores, 25-21 in a closely fought first set, but Canada getting the upper hand early on in set 2 and keeping their distance, taking it 25-15. Rwanda then with a lot of work to do now. They just have to make sure they try and cut down on their errors as we look at these set 2 statistics. 1 extra serving fault, but look at the aces that Canada came up with, and those are serves where the ball touched the floor directly or hit a player and went out of play. As we have a look at the highlights so far from the match. So the crowd still very much enjoying the volleyball here at the Rio Centro Pavilion 6. And Canada's certainly enjoying the volleyball as they're 2-0 up at the moment, 1 set away from victory. Rwanda have to have a little rethink, see how they can turn things around in their favour. Most of that will come from making sure that, quite simply, they put the serves in and then see what happens, because when they do that, they're getting themselves into some good rallies, and they've been winning more of them than they have losing them.
How many times do you hear this in sport? Control the controllable, control the controllables. Get right what you know you can do, and then you can put pressure on.
Certainly the coach won't be asking them to do anything that they can't do. He knows exactly what he's got, what his players can do, and he'll just want them to do that to the absolute best of their abilities. And if they leave the court getting beat 3-0, so long as they played everything as well as they could, then that's all that the coach can ask for. It's all that a team can ask of each other as well.
All right, thank you, Tom and Rodrigo Lazara. This is the start of the 3rd and critical set for Rwanda. Canada up 2 sets to 0.
Well, opening proceedings in the 3rd set, we've got Rwanda serving now. 2 sets down. Nice defensive work from number 11 from Canada, Heidi Peters. She really saved that point.
It's a big, powerful spike as well from Ellis to put that one away cross court, giving Canada the opening point. So first time on court for Leanne Muldrew. She gets to serve. Canada looking for net touch or block out, not getting either. Thought that was their point, but it's Rwanda who take it.
Serving at 1-1, Claudine for Rwanda.
Somehow Rwanda kept it off the floor, and a really good scramble to send that one deep, and it's landed on the baseline, and Rwanda have the lead. Really good play.
Well, MULDREW and PETERS both went for that, trying to keep it in play on the baseline. Didn't happen. Sorry, she says. It's Jennifer Oakes making a bit of a mistake.
Well, this is the perfect start for Rwanda in this third set. It's a must-win set for them. They're 3-1 up. However, they really need to keep their focus on the court and away from the scoreboard at the moment.
Now into the net this time by Rwanda, giving Canada a point. Canada now 2-3.
A nice powerful spike down the line from Canada, which Rwanda couldn't deal with. It was a sloppy pass off the serve, really a lot of arm swing, which put the ball a little bit too tight to that, made it difficult for Rwanda to build an attack, and Canada taking full advantage. Now back level again, another pass that puts Rwanda under pressure. And just like that, from 3-1 down to 4-3 in front, Canada in charge of this third set. Nice block to stop that ball from coming back over.
Jolan Wong putting a nice string of serves together. Well, look at that for a spike from number 9. It's Danielle Ellis. More of a commanding lead now at 5-3 Canada.
Tempo para Rwanda.
Substitution then for Rwanda. Beatha coming in, and out goes number 5, Alice, the setter. So one setter for another. Well, that was a little bit of luck for Rwanda. Kept up and it rolled up, over and down the other side of the net. They have their side out, they don't pretty care how they get it. They have the serve, they just won back.
The captain to serve, Liliane, 4-5. But another point now, that levels the scores at 5 apiece.
Glyn Archibald, the first referee, showing the sign to say that the attacking player had taken their pelvis off the floor as they moved to go after the ball. You have to keep your pelvis on the floor, between your pelvis and shoulders, has to be in contact with the floor at all times. Oh, that's a lovely dig.
Well, leave it, they shout as they cover the back of the court. Well left indeed from the Canadians. They take the lead again, 6-5.
One of the great things about sitting volleyball is you can shout, mine, leave it, all the things you can't shout when you're playing other team sports like football, for example. Because the ball's on your side of the net. It's just, you have a big shout call for that ball. Make sure that everybody knows what they're doing.
Well, nice tip over the net. Canadians 8-5. Again, they're opening up. Nice little gap.
Este é o primeiro tempo técnico do set. Canadá vai vencendo por 8-5.
Here's the tale of set 3 so far. Canada with 2 more blocks, none yet for Rwanda. It's all about the consistency for the team in yellow and blue. All part of the learning process for them as they enjoy their experience here in Rio 2016. Excellent blocking by Canada.
Danielle, Ellis to serve. 9-5 up. An attempt, a spike. Sandrine didn't come off.
Well, one thing we've learned from watching this match so far is Rwanda being 5 down doesn't mean it's over just yet. They're more than capable of coming back. Claudine has come in, number 3. Substitution for Rwanda. Canada more than capable of giving up runs of points. Right now, though, it's Canada very much in charge as that one fails to come back over.
A lovely spike.
Super spike, Canada.
Jennifer Oakes absolutely smashed it down into the Rwandan side. Takes them now up to 12.
Big gap in the block to put the ball through. Nice turn as well to cut it across her body. Brilliant spike. Timeout called by Rwanda. Canadian fans really enjoying what they're seeing at the moment as their team leading by 2 and up here in the 3rd. And that lead is getting bigger and bigger now.
It was a nice dig from MULDREW, number 6, to set that point up. Danielle Ellis continues to serve for Canada. Again, a nice dig from MULDREW. And again, has set the point up beautifully.
Well, that spike going cross-court right between 2 Rwandan players who weren't sure which one of them was going to take it from that spike from Peters. So another change then for Rwanda as Sandrine comes in and off goes Claudine.
So scores now at 15-5 Canada. been a lovely run of serves, hasn't it, from
This is the second
Danielle
technical
Ellis.
timeout of the
She's taken her
third
team
set.
up to 16-5, 11 points in it.
Técnico, Canadá 16-5.
Well, this is where Rwanda have got to dig deep now. They need to find a way back into this one. And as for Canada and their fans, they'll just want to make sure that they get this one finished off and get the job done 3-0. Glenn Archibald getting ready to get proceedings underway once more. And it's done it. That's a really good serve. Ace serve right into the corner from Canada from Danielle Ellis. What a way to respond off the back of a timeout. Nice ball in. Good defense by Canada, but it doesn't fall kindly for the rest of the team. And Rwanda have the ball back. Very nice spike this, off the block, slowed down, almost kept in play perfectly. Just not quite the contact Canada were looking for. So carry called against Rwanda. Rules pretty specific. It's volleyball, so it has to be volleyed off of any part of the body. You're not allowed to carry it, catch it, hold on to it unless you're jousting at the net, in which case it's a couple of seconds before the ball has to be released or it's a replay.
Well, it was a nice dig from Jolan Wong, but unfortunately Canadians weren't able to execute from that, so Rwanda now come back up to 7-18. Well, how did that find the gap? Just manages to drop inside the baseline. 19-7 now to Canada.
Oates is coming out, number 12.
Substitution called, so on comes Amber SKYRPAN to serve, and off goes Jennifer Oates.
Now SKYRPAN straight into the action and asked to serve. The first touch of the ball wasn't good enough.
That can be quite frustrating at times when you're a coach and you brought a player on specifically to serve. You really expect them to get the ball in, a minimum requirement. Well, that just seemed to catch Ellis by surprise. She's a backcourt player. Wasn't expecting to get that one. So there'll be a let play, the ball held fractionally too long.
Replay para Rwanda.
Well, actually coming to an actual stop.
Sandrine.
A serve, Rwanda.
It's a great serve from Rwanda, picking on the substitute SKYRPAN, who's only just come into the action and not game ready.
Well, that is frustrating for her, SKYRPAN. 2 errors now, pretty much both touches she's made. Just give her a chance to get into the game, and I'm sure she'll be fine. And there's an error this time from number 14, Katelyn Wright. That allows Rwanda back up to 11. 11 plays 19 in this third set.
Substitution being reversed then, Oakes coming back in, trying to settle things down again for Canada. That was an error from Jolan Wong, apologised for that. She tried to go over on 2, putting it, or trying to put it into the corner. Just as happened in all the other sets, really. Canada getting a big lead, then losing a run of points and making things a little bit tricky for themselves. And it's still continuing here. This is brilliant from Rwanda.
I sense the lack of focus again with the Canadians. It's been a bit of an up and down game for them in terms of focus. Well, picking up a point now, that could be critical. 20-13, Canada serving.
Great pass, lovely set, and then no trouble at all for that ball to be put away by Peters as she goes back to serve. It's a great serve as well, that'll go down as an ace. Canada now just 4 points away from victory.
Well, found a gap.
Great swing from the captain, cross court. And Canada could do nothing to get that one back.
Rwanda really don't want to give up the ghost here. They're fighting right to the end. Quite a deficit to make up in the third set. Well, they've got another point there. Back now to 15-21.
Katelyn Wright, number 14, having missed the dig earlier then, missing the pass. And you'd fancy really Rwanda want to put the ball on her once more. She's made 2 errors in a row. Carine with the serve. Well, went anywhere but with that one. So Carine goes off to be replaced by the libero Solange for Rwanda. Back to serve goes MULDREW. There's going to be a substitution here for Rwanda. Off comes Clementine UMUTONI. Will it be enough for Rwanda? Can they get themselves back into it? Well, that was a brave effort from Rwanda. They hustled well, they kept the ball alive, kept it in play. But it was Canada who were continuously knocking on the door, and eventually they were let in.
Service by MULDREW that set the point up there.
And match point.
You heard it, set point and match point, 24-15. Now, they don't need all 9 match points, one of them will do.
It was a great play by Felicia VOSS-SHAFIQ under pressure, match point down, puts the ball away. Rwanda then with the serve, but Canada with plenty of chances to get this one done.
Well, another one eludes Canada. Scores now at 17-24. Canada hanging on in there. Claudine now to serve. Can she pull another point back?
Well, there were shouts of out. Canada decided to play it. And it's a net touch against Canada. 3 match points now saved.
Well, they need to save another 6. This is still match point for Canada.
Oh, there was a long wait by the referee as to whether or not that ball had hit the block and gone out or hit the net. He's decided it hit the net and went out without catching a Rwandan player, and they've saved another match point.
Wow, this is an unbelievable run of points, the most exciting that we've seen from the Rwandans. Still 4 match points to Canada. Can they convert one of these?
Well, Nicole Ban, the coach, is having a wry smile, but she doesn't really want to call a timeout. And she doesn't have to either.
Canada wins in 3 sets and advances.
It's all over. Canada have done it. They've taken the 3rd set. They've taken the match as well by 3 sets to nothing. Wow, well, what a game that was. You have to credit Rwanda. They played brilliantly. They gave it everything, and they certainly can leave Rio 2016 knowing that they've had a wonderful experience. They've given everything they could. They've learnt hugely from being here, and no doubt we'll see them again in the future playing in more Paralympic, more sitting volleyball events. But for Canada, a great finish for them, getting 7th place here at Rio 2016. As they acknowledge the fans, and certainly Rwanda as well have been fan favourites throughout this competition, as the teams will shake hands. But it's the end of the road for both of them. Certainly plenty for Rwanda to be working on in terms of consistency. And when they get that right, they're certainly going to be a team that will be looking to take sets and matches from some of the bigger countries in terms of sitting volleyball. They can be very proud with their achievements and how they've played their volleyball and the spirit with which they played it.
And they've played with heart and they've played with passion. Both teams wanted the win here today. Both teams will be able to take some big positives.